Hi, welcome to the video. It's showing people how to take registers in SIMS, which is a school information management system used in the UK. So there's going to be kind of a basic explanation of how to take the register, but there's also going to be some top tips about registers as we go through, so stay with me and we'll get to those tips as well. So on with the video. Basically, there are a couple of ways you can take the register in SIMS. Here you can see I'm going to concentrate on Friday. I have all my lessons that I need to take registers for in my calendar, so I can double click on the calendar. I also have an icon up here that says take register, so I could use that. And also I have a lesson monitor, and then I could take register from there. So the kind of easiest way to do it is to go in through your calendar. So I just double click on the lesson I want to take the register for. And you'll see that when it comes up, here's my register, Friday period 1, and it's in white, and I can see that I need to take the register because there's marks missing. If I click on browse, that will open up my timeline, and then from here I can go to my other lessons to record the attendance as well. We'll come back to browse in a minute. So a few things here. Obviously once you've got it highlighted, you just then need to use the codes. It tends to be the / for present and N for absent. So you could fill in, who was here, who wasn't. But another quick way is to highlight the whole row, the whole column. I've just deleted, and then you can, if they're all here, just put, once you've highlighted it, put the / in, and they're all got their attendance mark, and they're all here. So that's one way you could do it. You would then save the register, and that's it, job done. A few other things to look at as we go through though, which are really, I think, quite useful. So on here we've got name, reg and intervention. You can actually add things to this. So if I right click on the top grey bar, there's all these things I can add to the register. So I can see their behaviour today, and you'd see any behaviour points that have happened today, which is useful because someone might be having a bad day and they've had some behaviour recorded against them. You just need to keep an eye out and hopefully bring them along with you in the lesson, and jivvy them along, make sure they're on track. If you want to get rid of it, you just right click again, click on it again, and it moves away. Another good thing you can do is, if you're not sure what to put in, you click on codes and it should bring up a list of all the codes over here. Generally teachers in a classroom will just use the / and the N, but you could have I for illness, or if they're somewhere else or excluded, you can put an E in there. But generally classroom teachers tend to just use the / and the N. The other thing that's really useful is that if someone turns up to your lesson and they're not on the register, you can click an extra name, and I can search in year 10 and search, and I'm just going to say that Liz turned up. Add the student to the class for this lesson only. Yep, I'm sure about that. And there you go, Liz has appeared at the bottom and been filled in with a present mark. And then again, I would save that register. Then you've also got the class photo. This is really useful for things like supply teachers, or if you're covering a class, or at the beginning of the year when you're not sure about your class. So I'll click on the class photos, and that gives me a picture of who they are, and I can kind of get an idea of who's who with their names underneath. An even better way is to click on photo over here, and I'll get a photo of the person that I'm taking the register for, and as I move down the picture will change, so you don't get those people calling out for other people who aren't actually here, so you can actually see who those students are. Again, I can just close that down. That's really useful. So let's just say David's turned up late, so another one you could use is the L for late, but what might be useful is to actually then put in how many minutes late they were, so you can build up a log of people turning up late. So I can right click and I can do enter minutes late, and then let's say he turned up 5 minutes late, and press OK, and that's it. That's all I need to do. Another thing you could have is maybe you want to put a comment next to someone. Again, you can right click and you can enter comments, and again here you can say worked really well today. And now you'll see there's like a red arrow, and if I hover for long enough it tells me what the actual comment was. Again, really useful, and you can report on those comments as well. Another useful thing is this button here, it says future, so I can actually click on future and it will tell me all the lessons I have with them, obviously in the future. So if someone hasn't handed in homework today, let's say that Billy hasn't handed in the homework and I'm going to want it in next week, I can right click on next week's lesson for him, I can enter a comment and I can say needs to hand in homework. Okay, and now you can see it's given me a comment on that future lesson, so I can kind of manage things like homework being handed in. Let's go back to today. Another good thing is when you're on the register, if you've got a student highlighted, you can actually then go to their details or the timetable, courses, whatever it might be, from the links on the right hand side, and you can also add behaviour and achievement points, but that's going to be for another video, so pay attention to that. The other thing here is you've got things like more able you can add, as I was saying before, when you right click and add things to your register. So that's kind of the basic general taking of the register. You obviously save that, and once that's saved you can then change it by clicking on the preserved, so the padlock becomes unlocked and it says overwrite. You can then overwrite those marks and then save again, so that you can change anyone if they've come in, if they were late and then, or if they were absent and they turned up, or they were late and you put in the wrong code and they weren't actually late. The other good thing you can do is you can browse and you can search through other people's registers. Again, really good if you're covering or if you want to know about another person's lesson. So this is the actual teacher name, so you want to search for another teacher. So I'm just going to put in the beginning of the teacher's initials, surname, sorry, and there's the lessons for that day that that person has. So if I'm covering Miss Isabel in their science lesson in the lab, period 5 on a Friday, I can double click on that and it will take me to that register for me to take as our covering teacher, and all the other issues and tips that we've talked about apply as usual. So that's it for taking the register. Please have a look at my other videos where I look at how we can put in user-defined fields to show different bits of information on student records which can be reported on, and lots of other videos about SIMS and other tech bits and pieces. Thanks very much.